Good morning, evening, or afternoon, whichever one's going on for you at this current point in time. Yeah, you right there. So, today we're talking about rotary tools. Yes, I understand you might have the Dremel, maybe you got the Milwaukee, maybe you got something else. Regardless of what that is, I was in the market for a new collet because mine broke while doing the ABS replacement video. If you haven't seen that, take a look. Now, if your collet broke for whatever reason, the first thing you do, you walk into a Home Depot, walk into your Lowe's, you're looking in the section, you're picking up, you walk straight into the Dremel section, because of course, they are the godfather, the creator, the forefather of rotary tools. But you take a look and they probably have a 4-pack of the collets that are in 1/32nd, 1/64th, there's 4 different sizes based off of what you need. I only use 1/8 inch mandrels like this or like this. Okay, these are 1/8. I don't need all the other sizes, and I especially don't want to pay for something that I don't need. I said I need a big pack of collets that are 1/8 shank, and so I grabbed my machete and I instantly start cutting my way through Amazon. Came across the Temos, right? So I'm thinking, should I go with Chinese stuff or should I just go get a direct replacement? Most of the stuff is made in China anyways. So I was like, let me go ahead and grab a big pack. Saw it for like $7, $8. I was like, let me test it to see if it's trash or if it's something that you might want to consider instead of the direct replacements. Because the 44, 42, 72, I don't know, whatever the number is, I'm going to put it on the screen. For the direct replacements, it was like $20 for like 4 or 5 of these. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I've already installed one, and this is what it looks like. So I wanted to compare that to the standard collet that you're going to get from Dremel. Now, this thing, it's got the 1/8 cut. The machine is beautiful. Like, whatever machine made this, it's perfect. There's no issues, no gaps, no scrapes, nothing that would suggest that this was in some crappy factory. The only difference between this one, and I'm going to go grab it in a second, is that the slit only comes down to the end of the head. And on the Dremel, it actually goes down to about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. Not particularly sure why they did that. I'm not sure if it's a vibration thing, kind of like the way Diablo puts a bunch of slits in their blade to handle vibration and noise. It may be that, but yeah. Not sure, but this thing is beautiful. I will say, and I'm going to go grab it in a second. Woo! Butterfingers. That the walls are thicker. Let me go grab the other one just to confirm. All right, so in my right hand, we have the Dremel zoom in action. On the right hand, we have the Dremel, and you can see the slit goes all the way down to almost the bottom, while the Temos, they go down to at the end of the head. Whether or not that makes a difference, not sure. As you can see, they're both cut out to 1/8 of an inch. They are perfectly even, right? The only difference, if you look really close, can I possibly get extra zoom in action? Zoom in action! Right, so if you look really close there, you can see that the Temos actually have thicker head on the left right here than the Dremel on the right. So I like that. Anything that's reinforced, extra metal, even just holding them in the hand, let me back you up. Even just holding them in the hand, you can tell the Temo is definitely heavier. So when you see Dremel, I'm like, shouldn't this thing feel like a plastic piece of crap since it's, $7? The Chinese market, they're stepping up their game. So without further ado, we're going to do 3 tests, and that is 1, the cutoff. So I'm going to grab a cutting wheel, and we're going to go through an assortment of nails. We have a couple wood screws, a couple of deck screws, a drywall screw here, and a drywall screw here, and then a couple of nails. We're going to cut through them. Again, this has nothing to do with testing my rotary tool. If you have the Dremel or if you have something else, it doesn't matter. And we're also not testing the quality of the band or the cutoff wheels themselves. This isn't a speed test. This is just to see about the vibration because I want to talk about fit, right? There's no point in any kind of collet if it lets your bit go and then your bits go flying at thousands of RPM. That's dangerous. So it's not necessary to determine the quality of my bits because I know whatever I buy is good. What I know is I can trust my tools. Not sure if I can trust this. What we're trying to test here is the collet itself and whether it can hold. Side note, this is the keyless chuck from Dremel. This is the only thing that I really trust for my carbide burrs, because whenever I put them in any regular collet, they just go flying. I don't know if that's a Gestuous thing, which is the company that makes my carbide burrs, or if it's the tool. Maybe it's just human error and I'm not cranking down on them hard enough. But regardless, we're going to see, put it through its paces. And at the end here, we actually have some studs from for furniture fixtures. So these are some pretty thick boys. And again, this isn't a speed test. It's just to see whether or not it can get them done. Side note, if you've never installed a collet into a rotary, super simple. You just unthread your nut. Under your nut's going to be the shaft for the threads. You sit your collet in. And that's all there is to it. Just don't thread it all the way down because you got to put your bit in. So the first thing we're going to do, and I love these Easy Connect mandrels from Dremel. These things I'm always cutting. So lock it into place. And what I'm going to do is grab my caliper and I'm going to check the depth, because one thing I also want to see, and again, this is tool technical, we're getting into the nitty gritty of stuff, right? So I'm going to measure from where the shaft is to here, where the connection is going to come in. So grab my blade. Oh my God, it's got a notch taken out of it. Yeah, I'm grinding random stuff. We're here talking about whether it holds it, not whether or not it makes a beautiful cut. This is one of those do as I say, not as I do situations, because of course you never, ever want to be cutting with a broken wheel. Grab a new one. And yes, there's going to be people out there like, he has a pack of new ones behind him. He's just being cheap. Shut up. All right. Yes, I'm using repurposed screws and used materials, except for the sanding band, with that exception, because, you know, material actually matters there. But the whole point is the slippage. So get that caliper on them. So the shaft has about 3.15 millimeters from the start of the nut to the end of that blue joint here. So I'm going to do my cutting, go straight across all of them after I get them in, and see whether or not the shaft slips out or slips in. So we're just going to jot the cutting for the Temo. It's going to be starting at 3.15 millimeters. We're going to go full speed and measure the distance that the shaft has come out or in, just in case. Again, it's all about grip here, not about performance. Performance, we know we got it. This is about functionality. We are, in fact, locked and loaded. Don't worry, I'm going to protect your ears, so I'll probably either silence it or lower it or put music over it. Haven't decided yet. We're not there yet. Fire in the hole, just so y'all don't believe me. 6. Fully charged. See that? 4 bars. Let's do it. Woo, she clean. Let's just polish off, right? All through, gone, broken. To be clear, no gimmicks, no games, right? Let's hit these two. Again, not seeing much of a difference. Just checking in. How you doing? You having a good day? Hope you're doing all right. I will say, just on a side note, I'm noticing not a horrible amount of vibration. Usually my hands are like tingling. That's really nice. Ooh, that's sharp. Let's finish up this last stud. Alrighty. So I know these gotta be blazing hot. I'm not even gonna try, but it got it done. Let's check the result. As you can see, we're at 3.14, 3.15 after. Absolutely no movement. And I'm even impressed because, especially, I didn't use a wrench. I just kind of used finger strength. So not only does it prove that the collet is holding, it also proves that I'm not getting old just yet. I'm still strong enough to crank it down. I don't need a tool. Got these right here. Anyways, let's get on to the sanding. And just for the sake of continuity, end distance from the collet to the shaft is 3.15 millimeters. Sanding band going in, nut on. Now, something that is also noticed is a bit of a tight fit, which I kind of like because it starts with a little bit of friction. Like, I have not threaded this down at all, and it has a little bit of friction when it comes to this shaft for whatever reason. Like, even now, like, I have to actually pull it out. But the Dremel one, no issue. So maybe it's just a Ryobi thing. So it's always a Ryobi thing, right? No. So I like to give a little bit more space when I'm doing sanding, just so any of the bottom materials not grinding against the nut. So we're going to be writing once more. Sandband. Temo. Start. And what do we got? We have... we need to back up is what we need. All right. From here, we have 8.5, 8.6. Yeah, we'll say about 8.5 millimeters. So 8.5 millimeters. I'm gonna take this fresh side. I'm gonna just sand this. I'm gonna put a timer for like, I don't know, 3 minutes, and we'll just do a continuous sanding for 3 minutes on the highest setting and see if the band happens to slip at all. Oh, before I do that, my Home Depot delivery just got here. Be right back. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. It's from Home Depot. Anyways. All right. Got our timer set for 3 minutes. Ready, go. All right. We went actually 17 seconds past the 3 minutes. Let's see what's what. back up on them. All right. Got sawdust on everything. I probably should have had my shop vac kind of blowing. That's on me, not your fault. Back on. We are at, I don't know if you can see that, 8.55. So even just hand tight, this thing is not moving on hand speed, whether you're cutting, whether you're sanding. This thing is very nice. I'm liking that. So, and without a tool, a lot of these tend to seize, especially if you're doing harder work. You can see this thing is on there. Woo! That thing is on there. Barely managed to get that on. Okay, so we open up the collet all the way. Got a little bit of resistance in there, but that's good. Whooshy hot. And breathing more sawdust than oxygen. All right, and for our end, for sanding, we have 8.55. Right on the money. Last thing I wanted to check, my bad, tripod's right in front of the drawer, is carbide burrs. For your wood carving necessities and pleasures. Now typically, like I said a little while ago, I use this only because it actually has the 3 jaws that come out and really grab the shaft of these. These are super dangerous. If they hit you or if they hit the wrong thing, they will shred straight through it. Goes in, no issue. All right. Finger tight. Again, I'm even making this more difficult because, of course, you should be using a little wrench or something. But who wants to use a cordless wrench, get away from the electrical cord, but now you got to walk around with an extra tool, an extra Allen key, an extra wrench. That's why, you know, oscillating tools that don't require a tool to put in a new blade, amazing. That's just an example. So, last thing we're going to do, find a nice clean side that hasn't been sanded so you can see it a little easier. Battery is about half. One more time. That's 2 notches, that's half. So full speed. Just gonna give it, you know, carbide burrs. Typically they'll either destroy you or they won't. So this doesn't require the, come on fingerprint. Up next video is gonna be how to find a decent phone. Come on. Okay. What are we doing? Am I nothing sensitive, right? Okay. We're going to do 1 minute starting now. Woo! All right, at 30 seconds, that carbide burr was not happy. And I kind of expected it. Again, that's why I like the keyless chuck, because the jaws actually clamp down on it. So let's make this a fair assessment. And we'll reinstall it. Obviously, I don't know if you could look in there. Zoom in action. The collet's fine. It's not broken or anything. So we're good. I'm going to go grab that little mini wrench and actually give this thing some tension. Temo, carbide start. Before we go measuring, we're going to actually wrench down on this the way you're supposed to. We got to follow the rules. But with sanding bands and with cutoff wheels, they're perfectly fine. It's just the carbides that, for whatever reason, since they're digging in so aggressive, they really do pull themselves out of the collet. And it's just a dangerous thing for everybody. So, again, you should be using gloves and PPE and all that. I got my safety squints on. You know, just close your eyes enough to where you can see it, but not enough to where something can accidentally fly in. Wouldn't recommend that, you know, but it is always on sale. So, one more time. Still half battery. The start will be Can you see that? 9 millimeters. So let's write that down. 9 millimeters. We will end with, well, we'll see. Restarting the time in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and in case you didn't pick that up, subscribe, please. So, as far as the carbide burr, once tightening it down with the wrench, it actually did stay in, not come out. Thing is, you know, relatively warm. I got to give this a good dusting, but it's okay. It lived, it survived. Now let's check the distance to see if this collet is capable of grabbing it with the right persuasion. So from the head of the nut to the starting of where the carbide material is, 9.0 or 9.01. So that's perfectly fine. 9, maybe 9.01 millimeters. So we good. Oh, this sawdust. So we know that it holds with the carbide burrs. We know that it holds with the cutoff wheels, and we know for minutes of sanding, it's gonna hold its own. The question is, what happens when it wears out? Well, like I said at the beginning, you got a bunch of them. I would be surprised if I burned through this thing in a month, but a pack of these, assuming you're like hardcore rotary tool every single day, this should last you the year, probably. I mean, maybe 10, 11 months if you're just like destroying it. Now, unfortunately, I gotta close out this video with you looking at my ugly mug because for whatever reason, this thing loves to overheat whenever you're, you know, recording for X amount of time. Whatever. So let me know what you think. If you're looking for a rotary collet, I say Temo. Nothing wrong with them. I might buy one in the future, another pack if I go through these, but I don't see why you wouldn't. Go for it. You have my blessing. If it was crap, we shall see in the future. But as far as what I'm seeing here, we'll have to see long term. I'm gonna go play with the thing that came in the mail. So I hope you have a great day. And until next time, work smart.